ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இன்னைக்கு நம்ம ப்ரோக்ராமிங் இன் பைத்தான் ஓட கண்டென்ட் தான் பார்க்க போகிறோம். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அதோட சிலபஸ் பார்க்கலாம். ஸோ சிலபஸ் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இதில் வந்து 5 யூனிட்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஸோ இந்த எல்லா 5 யூனிட்ஸுமே டேனியல் லியன். So all 5 units are covered in Daniel Lian book. So the textbook is named as Introduction to Programming Using Python. So if you see the objective of programming in Python, it comprised of 5 objectives: data types and variable declaration, control statements, functions, and use of basic programming, list, dictionary, and operation used in Python, files and exception handling, and final objective is object-oriented programming and GUI development. So in today's class, we will start with Unit 1. So in this class, we will see introduction about Python programming. And in this Python programming, we will see what is the history of Python programming and who developed this Python programming, and how this Python programming is different from other languages. So like this, we will see some of the introduction part of Python programming in this first class. And these 6 topics comprised of Unit 1. So we are going to see the first topic, Introduction to Python Programming. So let me start with this. Okay, I'm selecting. Okay, now if you see Introduction to Python Programming, this Python was invented by Guido van Rossum. He is a Dutch programmer, and he is best known for the creator of Python programming language, and it is uh, created in the place of Netherlands in 1991, right? So in 1991, he developed this Python programming. So it is a general purpose programming language. So in recent days, like Google Engine, mission critical projects at NASA, all are using this Python programming as a core engine, right? So first we will see what can Python do, right? So Python can be used on server. So first thing it can be used on server to create web application. This is the first. Uh, we can implement web application using Python programming. That is what server side programming scripting. And Python can be used alongside software to create workflows. That means we can also create software using Python programming. Similarly, we can also connect to the uh, backend, which is the database system, right? So Python can connect to database system. It can also read and modify files. So Python can be used to handle big data and perform complex mathematics, right? So these are some of the areas we are using Python programming, right? So, and it is developed by Guido van Rossum. Okay, it is used as a rapid prototyping. We know what is prototyping, right? So prototyping means creating a model of a project, right? So similar to that, Python can be used to develop a project which is represented as rapid prototyping, right? So that is what rapid prototyping is. So this is also included, as we have seen what are the places we can use Python programming. Next, why Python? Why we have to use Python compared to other languages? Okay, so the first point is this Python can work in different platforms. What are the platforms available here? Windows. So these are some of the platforms. These 3 platforms are majorly used in today's scenario, right? So Windows, Mac, Linux, and these are other platforms which are also available, Raspberry Pi, etc. Right? So mostly we will use Windows and the Linux operating system as well as Mac operating system. So it is platform independent and it can work in any platform. So next is Python has a simple syntax similar to English language. So, for example, writing a statement in English, we can write the syntax of Python programming. So that only it is related to simple English language. So for example, if you are writing like this, if I less than 10, right? So this is a statement in Python programming, but if you read this, it is similar to a or particular statement in English also, right? So that is why it is similar to English language. So this is a syntax of Python programming for condition checking, right? So I have written a sample code here. So next is Python has a syntax that allows developer to write programs with fewer lines, right? So for example, in C programming and all, we have to first declare all the variables and then we have to utilize it while you are writing the code part, right? So declaration should be there, main function should be there to write your code part. Then only you can end the program. But in Python, while in the code part itself you can so it will be auto declared, the variables will be auto declared. You need not to specify what is the data type of a particular variable before it is used, right? So for example, if you give a is equal to 10, a will be treated as an integer, right? So this is what auto declaration. So no need for, so the declaration coding part is also reduced. Similarly, in coding part also, we are not using any curly braces like C programming like this and all. Only indentation is used in C programming. So compared to C programming, Python is having fewer lines. Similarly, compared to Java programming is also Python is having fewer lines. That is what mentioned here. So here similar to English, and it is working in different platforms. So next is Python runs on interpreter system, right? So actually, if you want to execute a program, that should be a system software which will execute the program, right? So system software, the meaning of system software is, system software consists of uh, we can have loader, linker, compiler, interpreter, etc., right? So now we have to convert this high level language to low level language, right? So for that, what type of system software we are going to use? Either compiler or interpreter, right? So if you are if it is a compiler, then what it will do, it will from if you are giving an input as a high level language, this high level language will be converted into object code, right? So during compilation, and this object code should be executed, then only you will get the output, right? So there are two phases if you are using a compiler: compilation phase as well as the execution phase. But if it is an interpreter and this compilation, the entire high level language file will be compiled, and if there is any error, that will be generated. If there is no error, then the object code will be generated, right? Now, in interpreter, how this is going to work? If you are having high level language, then the each and every lines in this high level language, line by line interpretation will be done in this interpreter, right? So line by line interpretation, and that will be executed and you will get the output, right? So only one phase, execution phase, is here, but for compiler, two phases: compilation phase and execution phase, right? So this is the difference between compiler and interpreter. And next, if you see the next point, Python can be treated procedurally. It is an object oriented programming in an object oriented way or a functional way. Any way we can represent Python. So procedurally, normally C program is also procedure oriented programming. Object oriented, you can refer Java, right? So it can be treated as procedurally or object orientedly or functional way, right? So these are the content which is taken from W3 Screw website. So next is We will see some history about Python programming. Already we have seen Guido van Rossum has developed this. Apart from that, Python is having two versions, Python 2 and Python 3. Right, so that is what given here, Python 2 and Python 3. And here in this Python 3, if recently we are using Python 3, so Python 3 is not backward compatible, right? So it is not backward compatible. So the meaning backward compatible is, so the meaning backward compatible is it should support the older version. If it is not backward compatible, it will not support the older version. That means Python 3 is not supporting the older version. That is the meaning given here, right? And nowadays all systems are updated to Python 3. So in this tutorial, Python will be written in text editor. So that is what they have given. So now here what I am going to use to teach you, I am going to use Sublime Text, which is a editor. You can use any type of editor like PyCharm, Thorny, NetBeans, or Eclipse. As well as you can use your Visual Studio also to execute the code. Whichever you are feeling comfortable, you can use that code. Okay, so that's all about the introduction about Python programming for the first class. Thank you.